Hi everyone, we are from Tutorial 1, Group 5. We'll present about any city can be a tourist destination. We have 6 members, which is Aishah, Mierza, Ruthra, Arissa, Zhou, and me, Syamil. I will be presenting about the situation of the Wichita Falls. Located between Dallas and Oklahoma cities, Wichita Falls is the city the home to the world's littlest skyscraper and various lush green parks and historic museum. But in the 80s, things were not as it is today. Due to the perception of Texas being sleepy, remote city that lacks amenities, not to mention the scorching hot summer, this little cattle farmland has since come a long way in its development. Wichita Falls is an economic powerhouse that is the home to several oil companies and is an agricultural trading center. But as soon as 1960s, when the oil production are declined in its importance, the cities are forced to change their economic focus and look for other opportunities in other industry for growth. The city began to go into the manufacturing industry where things began to look great again. However, it does not last long. In 1980s, the manufacturing plants are forced to close, and the future of the city looks gloomy. Many efforts are taken until the city are forced to take action as both Dallas and Oklahoma are becoming bigger and bigger. In 2005, a new mayor was elected, where he and all other officials worked together until finally in July 2008, they produced a Vision 2020 with a statement, a vibrant regional center attractive to talent and investment. The vision had three goals, which is to develop, retain, attract and engage talent. Two, to diversify and grow the economic base. And finally, to promote and enhance Wichita Falls' quality of place. So guys, let's embark on the journey of how Wichita City comes from being a dark, gloomy, remote city with scorching hot summer to being the location that is known for its beauty attraction, dining and recreation opportunities now.
So next is the problem of statement. So the first one is Wichita Falls has no special attractions. It is not well known for its location, beauty and attraction. It serves as the country seat and home for many governmental offices. Other than providing the government service, Wichita Falls also is one of the agriculture trading center and home for oil and gas operations. So from here we know that tourists will feel that there's no something special for them uh, to visit at this city. Next is Wichita Falls faced the economic fall. In 1960s, oil production declined in importance, so the wildcatters and producers switched their attention to other areas. And in 1980s, manufacturing plant closures combined with a severe decline in oil prices, so it makes that a double falls for the city. Even Wichita Falls tries involved in new sectors such as manufacturing and new industry, but this city actually only depends on its oil sector and government. So that's all for problem statement.
Next is the possible alternative causes of action. The first one is to identify the city best prospective visitors. So a great marketing strategy is to truly know the type of visitors are and where they are coming from to visit a destination. There are many different types of people and one size fits all approach won't yield the best results. Many tourist destinations identify demographic and also physiographic insights about their visitors. Beyond demographic variables like age, income range, and gender, these analytics reveal the lifestyle characteristics or physiographics of potential visitors. These analyses will help to identify the key visitor segments and allow tourist destinations to come up with new ideas for deals or offerings that will appeal to each target market. So the marketing efforts will be tailored accordingly. So from the case study, we can see that Wichita Falls is a city that is mostly populated with governmental services and it is mainly focuses on improving its economic sectors. They introduced new businesses and expanded the old one in an effort of attracting visitors to the city. So there is a high probability that the visitors may be a businessman or a trader with different purposes compared to the normal visitors. So the organization in charge should focus on this type of visitor and develop campaigns or events that cater to the interests and needs of this type of visitors. By doing this, if the visitors enjoy their visit to the city, there is a high chance that they will visit again, but with different purposes or recommend it to others. Next is focus on branding the city. Branding is a technique used by businesses to make them easily identifiable. Branding is about being recognizable and standing out from others. So in tourism, the main goal here is to identify and highlight the most unique features of the city so that it is easily recognizable and it will stand out from others. From the case study, in the early days, Wichita Falls only focuses on expanding and improving its economic industry to attract visitors. However, this method seems to be ineffective as the economic sector fluctuates according to the market, thus also affecting the number of visitors to the city. So instead of doing that, the city should create their own identity, identify and develop unique features of the city and promote it to the outsiders. This will help to change the people's perspective towards the city during the early days.
Hello everyone, I'm Qian. So for this part is about pros and cons of each alternative. The first one is identify the city-based prospective visitors. So the first part about pros, number one, understanding customer needs helps us to do a better job of marketing. Understanding customer needs is the first step to good marketing. Customers give up value, work on consumer behavior, and build, even maintain long-term relationships with them. And number two, helps to better determine the marketing activities, promotions, and marketing campaigns for the tourism market as a whole. And for the cons part, number one, too much work and tedious information processing. As we all know, we need to take all the information about our customers, their age, and all kinds of information about their identity. And the number two is expensive and may take a little more time. And for the next alternative, focus on branding the city. The first part, pros, the number one is find your own identity and win with peculiarities. Different scenic tourism resources are different. In the modern fierce market competition, the positioning of tourist attraction must own the principle of characteristics. To find their own characteristics to win with peculiarities. In addition, accurate market positioning can also provide a clearer target model for the many tourism supply subjects of tourism resources, getting their behavior in one direction and ensuring the development of tourism in scenic areas. Number two, more effective in informing visitors about the tourism value of the area. Visitors can be more effectively informed about the tourism value of this scenic spot. With the high level of tourism development, new tourist attractions are emerging and the options available to tourists are increasing. The only way to effectively save costs and create an impression that will attract more tourists is to promote the area as a whole. The third one is generate interest in the visitor and the urge to travel. The core of tourism marketing is brand communication, and for scenic spots, it's the communication of the core attraction. Using the customary concept of the tourism sector, Brand communication is the communication of the tourism image, so that tourists are fascinated. And for the Ken's part, the first one is brand building cannot be achieved overnight, but requires a long period of dedication. A unique brand connotation needs to rely on a long period of accumulation, requiring enterprises to form their own core competencies, advanced concepts, unique corporate culture, and a tested credibility. Relying only on hype overnight fame or by imitating others are difficult to achieve successful brand building. Strong corporate strength is still the necessary backing for brand building.
Hello guys. So let's continue the presentation with our next topic, which is selection of preferred alternative and logic of selection. So, as we have established earlier, we have identified two alternatives that we have decided upon, which is firstly, identify the city's best prospective visitors. Indeed, in any form of business, effective marketing requires us to identify our target audience beforehand. This can ensure a more efficient process of executing our business plan. When a business has successfully established their business plan, it is important to also decide on who you want to sell your brand or service to. Randomly throwing out promotional materials to the public is a general marketing tool, but it can be unreliable, tedious, and time-consuming. It may even deter potential customers or patrons when your marketing campaign is unorganized and persistent. On the other hand, giving your full effort and attention to a specific group of people can generate a much more tangible result. Wichita Falls were aware of the situation and they needed immediate tangible results in order to restabilize the city's overall fluctuating economy. So let's take some examples from the textbook. Firstly, they establish a sense of brand loyalty for its own citizens first, selling them the idea that Wichita Falls is in an exciting period of transition. Secondly, they also focus on potential newcomers from outside the community, placing advertisements in the other regions of Texas as well as southern Oklahoma. They also acknowledge the service of Air Force veterans that were associated to the region because of the local air base. The idea is so that these veterans may choose to settle down permanently in Wichita Falls. They also promote the economic and industrial potential of the region to attract businesses, entrepreneurs, and future talents or professionals. Lastly, they also cater to sports fans alike and food lovers. Next, the second alternative that we have decided upon is to focus on branding the city. Now, when aspects such as natural beauty, historical importance, amenities, and suitable climate is unavailable, a city or location needs to establish an alternative, but impactful image in order to attract crowds. Indeed, in any form of business, a brand's image, potential, and reputation is the primary selling point. It is important to set your brand apart from other competitors, which includes what makes you different, what can your brand offer, why should people choose your brand, and so on and so forth. Let's take a real-life example of iPhones versus other types of smartphones. So the idea is that they are selling a lifestyle or selling a brand. This also applies to establishing a location as a travel destination. Wichita Falls utilize this method by enhancing the features they do possess and embracing the shortcomings that comes along with their geographical aspects, lack of historical value, and so on. They established the Pride of the Falls campaign, among other things, to execute this plan effectively. Now let's take some examples from the textbook. Wichita Falls was forced to carve out a niche for itself and capitalize on the amenities and assets it could offer that other cities in the region could not. There was a need to improve the community's image both internally and externally. It was difficult to draw people to Wichita Falls, but it was soon recognized that if they liked it when they visited, they would come again or even relocate. Some examples to further reinforce this idea is the aforementioned Wichita Falls waterfalls, the city's downtown Baroque architecture, the Shepherd Air Force Base. Wichita Falls also established regional or district sports teams such as the Wildcats and Wichita Falls Nighthawks, which we can take from real life examples. Liverpool Football Club or Barcelona, it not only promotes the sports club itself, but the city in general. And also the Hotter and Hell 100, which is a 100-mile bike race over 100 degrees. This means that they embrace the shortcomings that comes along with their location and make it a strength in order to sell that idea to potential tourists or travelers or people who are looking to settle down. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. My name is Ruthra Mary Ramachandran and I'm from Group 5 Tutorial 1. I would be presenting on plan of action. Tourists are naturally attracted to destinations that are easy to access, are blessed with natural beauty, have well-developed entertainment, or offer consistently mild climates. What do you do if you are in a location that is devoid of all of these obvious attractors? That was the question faced by decision makers in Wichita Falls, Texas. When the city leaders first embarked on their attempts to lure tourists to the secondary Texas city, there was a great deal of skepticism was not known for its since Wichita Falls was not known for its location, beauty, noteworthy attraction, dining or recreation opportunity. That is why Wichita Falls Vision 2020 was adopted as it plans strategies to make this city as a tourist destination. Wichita Falls Vision 2020, City of Wichita Falls in July 2008, was adopted in July 2008. The vision statement is a vibrant regional center, attractive to talent and investment. And this adoption has three main goals. First is to develop, retain, attract, and engage talent. Second is to diversify and grow the economic base. And last but not the least is to promote and enhance Wichita Falls' quality of place. With these three goals in mind, we identify the primary opportunity for Wichita Falls. For each opportunity, we outline strategies and actions, identify priority projects, and provide a plan to guide the implementation of this project, strategies, and action. These primary opportunity areas are listed below, which includes downtown, talent, business development, image, and marketing. So downtown, a vibrant downtown is a key component to economic vitality. Downtown revitalization influences every economic development issue facing Wichita Falls, from talent attraction and retention to quality of place to economic diversification. The economic potential of downtown Wichita Falls is obvious. The historic buildings, walkable street grid, existing business and institution create a strong base for revitalization efforts. The implementation of effective strategies as part of a well-coordinated, revitalized effort can make a significant difference in restoring downtown Wichita Falls to a prime destination in the region. This in turn will greatly enhance the community's economic vitality. The concept of talent means more than a skilled workforce. It means recruiting talented people, as well as cultivating the talent pool represented by groups as diverse as students, retirees, and entrepreneurs. It also means ensuring that the employees and companies that have been responsible for a community's growth continue to see a reason to remain in the area. For regional centers like Wichita Falls, which must compete with the diverse amenities and higher wages offered by large cities and metropolitan areas, it means developing creative strategies for retaining and attracting people. This is what the talent strategy for the Wichita Falls Vision 2020 has been advocating about. As we see the business development part of this strategy, assessment of industry considers the full complement of economic activities ranging from traditional industry employers to healthcare to entrepreneurship, as well as the physical infrastructure and business climate to support this activity. Understanding the role of innovation, the opportunity for expansion of existing companies, the potential of entrepreneurship, and the importance of the service sector are important building blocks of an economic development plan. The region has a strong history of attracting and nurturing a healthy manufacturing base. However, despite these assets, the Wichita Falls region faces a sobering reality. It is engaged in a global competition with communities and regions that can offer cheaper wages, land, buildings, and taxes to attract a shrinking pool of traditional manufacturing jobs. To sustain long-term vitality, the region must focus its industrial recruitment efforts on emerging sectors emphasizing innovation. It must place a high priority on enhancing the region's high-value service sector, including the healthcare and professional services. It must encourage and support the development of growth-oriented entrepreneurship. This is indeed an important strategy of any city that wishes to be a center of economic development that also perpetuate the tourist development of that specific region or place. So as we go into the last strategy, which is image and marketing, as we see in Wichita Falls' case, many local professionals, not originally from the area, anecdotally admit that they were reluctant to relocate to Wichita Falls because of the area's perception as a sleepy, remote city with few amenities and scorching summers. Yet most of these same individuals also acknowledge how inaccurate and uninformed this image turned out to be. This is in large part due to a lack of awareness regarding local events and activities. The primary purpose of traditional economic development marketing is to generate interest from companies with expansion and relocation plan. However, given the current environment in which more and more workers are selecting place first and jobs second, Wichita Falls would benefit from a marketing campaign designed to attract new residents to the region as well as to reinforce a positive image of Wichita Falls among existing residences. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that these four strategies that I have mentioned just now is indeed an imperative strategies for any cities that is aiming to become an tourist destination. Thus, in order for any cities to become a tourist destination, it is important for the policymakers and legal authorities to seriously take into account these four main strategies to make sure that their city or their area is hospitable, is favorable to potential tourists and be able to attract more incomes, economic sectors, and generate avenues for tourism for the and generate avenues for the for the improvement and development of tourism sector. With this note, I thank you and I would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you, everyone.